Bank account reconciliation is the process of comparing internal accounting records, in this case for the law firm trust account, with the external bank records for the period, to ensure the accounting records agree with the statement provided by the approved deposit institution. The purpose is to review the accuracy of the trust accounting records by identifying and correcting accounting errors or even fraudulent transactions. Australian legal professional regulations require the month-end trust bank reconciliation and compliance report be completed by the law practice within 15 working days of the end of each calendar month. This video steps through the process for reconciliation and answers some common questions, but further bookkeeping expertise may be needed to resolve an out-of-balance identified during a reconciliation process. Before you begin, check that you have a trust account bank statement covering the entire calendar month to be reconciled. Your statement should show bank name, account name, usually statutory trust account in the law firm name, the branch and account number, the opening and closing balance on the account for that month, all deposits and payments that occurred through the bank in consecutive date order, consecutive page numbers and opening and closing balances for each part of the statement, showing that no pages have been omitted. Before you start, also check the Cabenet accounting notices does not show any undeposited receipts for the month. If you see an undeposited receipt amount, this indicates there are cash or check receipts recorded, without a bank deposit date being entered. Before you reconcile, create deposit dates for any undeposited receipts that were banked in the month being reconciled. To create the receipt bank deposit dates, go to Trust, Deposit, and enter the bank deposit date for each receipt shown. Note that some deposit amounts on the bank statement may represent more than one receipt banked at the same time. Make sure the deposit date and the calculated amount for each deposit is correct on the deposit table before posting, as this cannot be edited later. To start a month-end reconciliation, go to Trust, Reconciliation. Choose the month-end button for the month to be reconciled. The month-end button is active only after the last day of that month. You must reconcile and run the month-end report for each consecutive month-end in sequence. Scroll to the end of the reconciliation table. Check that the starting difference amount shown is the same as the opening balance on the bank statement for the month to be reconciled. If the opening balance is correct, then tick off deposits, that is credits on the bank statement, against matching receipts shown in the Cabenet Trust transactions. Confirm matching dates, details such as name or matter reference and amount to ensure you are correctly matching the bank deposit with the same trust receipt in Cabenet. Any transaction highlighted in green is an EFT, either a receipt or payment. The other transactions listed will be receipts in cash or checks, or payments made as trust checks. Any transaction with a reference field that is highlighted in orange are reversals of previously entered transactions, because there has been an error in processing. A trust transaction can only be amended by another transaction that reverses the error and a new transaction make the correction. Therefore, any amendments made to trust entries must also be cleared in the reconciliation process, as these show as separate transactions. Make sure you tick two sides of any reversals, whether receipt or payment reversals. If you don't, this will result in an out of balance in the month being reconciled. If you receive trust monies in one month but did not bank the funds until the start of the next month, the transaction will show as undeposited in the month being reconciled. That is, you cannot tick this receipt as it was not banked in the calendar month being reconciled. That receipt will be cleared when it shows on the bank statement, usually in the next month. One important difference between trust account reconciliation and the same process in general business bookkeeping is that trust reconciliation is based on the date the transactions are processed into the trust account records, the date that the transaction was entered, not when the transaction occurred. Therefore, transactions processed with a date within the month being reconciled but which were processed into the trust records after the month end being reconciled will show on the reconciliation table as receipt or payment adjustments. Any transaction in the table's headed receipt or payment adjustments is a transaction dated in the month being reconciled but that was processed into Cabenet outside that month. This does not cause a reconciliation issue, as you still tick off any receipts or payments shown on the bank statement, with the matching transaction including if the transaction is shown as an adjustment on the reconciliation. The important thing is to only tick off in the reconciliation those transactions that are on the bank statement for the month being reconciled. If you have uncleared deposits, either receipts on the bank statement that are not in Cabenet or vice versa, receipts in Cabenet that are not on the bank statement, then there has been an error in banking or processing. Either trust money received was not banked or a receipt has been recorded in error in Cabenet. If you need to leave the reconciliation to make corrections or investigate missing entries, we recommend that you save to PDF the interim reconciliation results. You can then refer to this when you return to finalize the reconciliation, that is to quickly tick off all previously cleared transactions. Then you can continue from where you were in the reconciliation process. Usually, you will enter any missed receipts to the relevant matters before continuing with the reconciliation process. Occasionally you may have unidentified receipts, that is, funds have been banked into the trust account and you cannot identify the matter this relates to at the time you need to reconcile the trust account. Because all trust receipts must be processed to the trust records within 5 working days of occurrence, you must record these receipts in Cabenet before you can reconcile for the month end. Please refer to the Trust Receipt Help section in the online Cabenet library for instructions on correct steps for processing an unidentified trust receipt. When you have ticked off all deposits against a matching receipt in Cabenet, you can start the same process with the payments listed on the bank statement. That is, tick off any payments on the reconciliation table in Cabenet, where these are also shown on the bank statement. If there are payments on the bank statement that are not in Cabenet, these have either been missed processing or may be errors made through the bank account. You need to enter any missed payments to a matter before continuing with the reconciliation. Before you leave the reconciliation screen to make corrections or investigate missing entries, we recommend that you save to PDF the interim reconciliation results so you can refer to this later. Occasionally you may find bank errors on the trust bank statement that cause an out of balance on the reconciliation. As the end-of-month reconciliation cannot be saved unless it is balanced, that is, you have a zero difference on the worksheet, you will need to in this circumstance create a balancing entry, that is a non-bank adjustment for this amount. A non-bank adjustment is a temporary balancing entry and is only used in special circumstances. Please refer to the online help library for more information on non-bank trust adjustments. If you are unsure about the correction needed, please contact Cabenet at support.com.au for assistance. When you have ticked off on the reconciliation all receipts and payments shown on the bank statement, scroll down to the reconciliation worksheet. Enter the closing balance shown on the trust account bank statement into the bank statement balance field on the reconciliation. Tab out or click Enter to confirm the balance has been entered. If the reconciliation is balanced, that is, there is zero difference, a green tick will display below the table. If the difference is zero, click the link below the tick to post or save the reconciliation result. If there is still a difference on reconciliation, review the transactions that have been ticked or not ticked, and look for any error or omission to find the reason for the out of balance. Resolving reconciliation issues is the skill of a practiced bookkeeper. You have saved a balanced reconciliation for a month end. The next step is to generate the trust end of month report. Click OK to go the end of month report. At the Trust Month End Report screen, click the button for the end of month for the month just reconciled. When the end of month report displays, click Confirm to send a message to the mobile phone of the trust account principal and to save the report to online archive. It is a professional requirement that a law firm principal responsible for the trust account review each end of month report. The message sent to the principal has a link to the end of month report for easy online review. When the end of month report has been confirmed and saved online, the month end report table will show an orange link on the month. If you need to review an end of month report, return to the end of month report screen and click on a link for the appropriate month. The end-of-month report contains on all compliance information that the law firm needs to generate each month for the trust account. This includes receipt and payment journals, reconciliation result, any transfer journals or overdraw notices, and the trust trial balance table for that month. The Cabenet online help library contains further information on trust transaction processing and the end-of-month reconciliation and report.